Call to order the Board of County Commissioners for August 28, 2014. We're going to start with a special meeting and move directly into the regular meeting. Thank you for coming. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the flag of the state of New Mexico. This is a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. First thing, we need to approve the special meeting agenda. Second. So motion is second to approve the special meeting agenda. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. This is a public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing will be to consider the issuance of the following liquor license application. The applicant's name is La Tienda del Sol. The proposed location is 2674 Highway 35, San Lorenzo, New Mexico. It's doing business as La Tienda del Sol. At this time, we will be open to a public hearing and discussion. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Yes, please come forward.
Hello, I'm Kendra Milligan with the Grant County DWI Council, and I would just like to make the Commissioners aware that Grant County has exceeded its quota for allotted liquor licenses according to the New Mexico Regulations Committee, and so I hope you would look into that and consider the health and safety of our community as you decide this liquor license. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else for public discussion? Okay. Oh, come on.
I'm Tom Morales. I'm a CPA here in town. I just wanted to come in support of Hans and his business and to let you know that he's compliant in all ways, paying all his taxes, a good contributor to our community and our county.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawson. Any further public input today? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Motion to approve or disapprove application number 912075. This is a restaurant, beer, and wine license.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve application number 912075, the restaurant beer and wine license.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve application 912075. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Can I get a motion to adjourn the special meeting?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. At this time, we call to order the Board of County Commissioners regular meeting for August 28th. Can I get a motion to approve the regular meeting agenda if there's no changes?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. This time we'll have public input. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Any individual who would like to discuss an item in more depth may request to be placed on a future agenda. Request forms are available at the County Manager's office. Is there anybody today for public input? Yes, ma'am. Please come forward and state your name.
Hello, Commissioners, the public, and employees. I'm Lucy Whitmarsh, and I'm the chairperson of the Silver City Main Street Board. And I just wanted to talk to you about one of the events that we're having downtown, which I have mentioned before, but I wanted to bring up again. Is that on September 6th, we're going to be having the Taste of Downtown. And this is an opportunity for the community to come out and support our downtown restaurants and come and sample something that maybe you've been thinking about going to that restaurant, but you don't know, and so it gives you a chance to do a sample there and see if that might be a restaurant that you would like to come back to. We're going to have the tasting tickets available at the event, which is from 11 to 2. And again, it will be in downtown Silver City. And there's parking at the Visitor Center, which is on Hudson Street, kind of across from the post office, a little bit further further down on Hudson. And then from there you can walk across the Market Street Bridge, and we'll have tent set up there where we'll have the tasting tickets and the locations where the tastes will be available for you. And I don't know if you had a chance yet to read the Sun News, but on the front page is a story about a restaurant that we do have downtown that's going to be closing on Friday, and it's like losing a member of our family, because right now we have such variety there, and we really, really need to support that and maintain it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public input today? Lonnie?
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of the residents of Viva Santa Rita, we'd like to commend Earl and his road crew for the great job they did up there. It's a wonderful job, and I heard some very good comments from the residents up there, so I just wanted to pass that along, and also thank you guys for everything.
Thanks, Lonnie.
Lake County owns a great road up there now.
Don't forget Anthony's crew for getting that all put together.
I know, yeah, which I heard is retired, so.
Yeah, are you looking for a job?
Thank you again for everything, and we appreciate it.
Glad it all worked out. Thanks, Lonnie.
It worked out good, so.
Happy it turned out the way you wanted it.
All the neighbors were really happy with it and commended Earl for the smooth process that it was, so.
You might even get garbage pickup up there now.
And we can get a lot, it's nice.
I wouldn't go, but it is nice, and you did a great job.
Yeah, you did.
Appreciate both you guys for...
It was very smooth, I mean, the operation was very smooth and it worked out well, so. We want to thank Earl for his, and all the guys on his crew. They're good people, so, thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you.
Any further public input?
I'm Steve Arendice. I'm representing right now the Rides Unlimited Car Club from Silver City, Gray County. I'd like to invite the public this weekend. Saturday, we're going to have a car show. We're kind of coordinating with the Chicano Music Association. There'll be dances at the Flame Friday night and Saturday night, and then the car show will be from Golf Park all the way down to Q's Bistro, and there'll be music at Golf Park and at Q's Bistro as well. And we're expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 cars. So the Rides Unlimited has gotten very limited exposure, but you know we are one of the major sponsors of the event. So we just like to invite everybody out and come out and have a good time.
Do you have a car to show?
The members don't enter the cars in the show, but we do have them for what we call it show and shine. So the club members will have their vehicles there, and then we'll be judging the entries. There's going to be 73 trophies awarded.
Wow. So what is your car?
Yes, well, 65 Chevy pickup, custom. So
We'll have to come see.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep, thank you.
Sheriff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge one of my staff that is going to be retiring as of Sunday, August 31st, Lieutenant Michael Aguirre. He's been working with the sheriff's office for 20 years, and now he has called it time to move on, to do different things. So, I want to congratulate him on what he has accomplished, and I wish him the best in his future endeavors. I not only call him my coworker, but a friend. So once again, I want to congratulate him, and I'd like to bring him up to the front so I can present him with a certificate of retirement. Michael? What this certificate says is presented to Lieutenant Michael Aguirre on this 28th day of August 2014 for your dedicated years of service to the citizens of Grant County. Best wishes on your retirement from the Grant County Sheriff's Department. So, once again, thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Lieutenant? Yes. You look entirely too young to retire. Retired at 35, that's pretty good. That's short time. Started at 15, can we take it? Shake his hand? Let's take some time to put out.
Yeah, whatever. So, no, that's fine.
Everybody smile. One more smile.
I've been tweeting stuff, so that's a good thing to tweet. Okay, any further public input? No? Okay, we'll move on. Minutes, approve or disapprove August 14th, 2014 regular meeting minutes.
Sir,
Yes.
move to approve August 14th, 2014 regular minutes.
Next second. There's a motion and a second to approve August 14th, 2014 regular meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Financial reports, approve or disapprove August 25th, 2014 expenditure report. Item B. Linda, you want to go through that and tell us if there's anything that you...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. In this expenditure report, there is a payment to Danny Flores for $68,119.81. He's with Zacaton Construction, and it's for the Tyrone Fire Department addition to the fire station. And there's also a payment of $36,360 to Pete's Equipment for a fire pump and foam tank for the Upper Nimbus Fire Department. Okay, so, the AP checks for this period are beginning with check 171323 and ending with check 171572 for a total of $590,640. And there is a payroll reporting period of August 3rd, 2014 through August 16th for a total of $210,679. So the grand total of the expenses for this report is $801,320.47.
Okay. Any questions for Linda? Can I get a motion to approve or disapprove?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve August 25th, 2014 expenditure report. Second.
So motion is second to approve the August 14th, 2014, the August 25th, expenditure report. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Approve or disapprove the cash flow analysis. Linda, you want to go through that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is the cash flow analysis for the month ending July 31st, 2014. And in the general fund, we began with a cash balance of $2,354,721 with revenues to date of $193,911. Operating expenses through July were $405,559. And the salaries and benefits for July were $454,595, leaving an actual cash balance of $1,688,479. The projected transfers through June 30th are $614,683, with projected transfers out of $2,691,874. Projected revenues of $11,476,355, and projected operating expenses of $2,527,654. And projected salaries and benefits, $6,060,404, leaving a projected cash balance at June 30th of $811,107. And the cash balance that's projected at that time will be $2,499,586, leaving a surplus of $137,533. Road fund, we have an actual cash balance of $120,460. Revenues to date of $52,316. Transfers year to date, we don't have any at this time. Operating expenses, $3,454. Salaries and benefits of $100,412, leaving an actual cash balance at the end of July of $68,911. The projections through June 30th, 2015, projected transfers in of $666,432, projected revenues of $951,686, projected operating expenses of $350,556, and projected salaries and benefits of $1,197,787. The cash balance as projected at the end of June 30th is $138,685, leaving a surplus of $7,750. For the corrections fund, the actual cash balance at July 1st was $26,163. Revenues through July was $115,628. Operating expenses through July was $21,893. Salaries and benefits of $155,945. Leaving an actual cash balance of negative $36,048. That's due to transfers that we need to make into the correction fund. The projected transfers in through June 30th is $1,670,263. Projected revenues of $843,872. projected operating expenses of $626,967, and projected salaries and benefits $1,851,121, with a projected cash balance at June 30, 2015 of zero.
Thank you very much. Any questions on the cash flow analysis? Seeing none, all those, we need to approve or disapprove it?
Chair?
Yes.
Motion to approve the cash flow analysis for July 2014.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve cash flow analysis for July 2014. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Motion passes. The county grant proclamation for the James H. Purtle Walk for Heroes proclamation for September 13th, 2014. Denisha?
Doing good, I think. Thank you. County of Grant Proclamation, James H. Purtell Walk for Heroes Proclamation. Whereas the Walk for Heroes, September 13, 2014, is an undertaking to honor the losses we have suffered after 9/11. And whereas the walk commemorates Americans who died for our country following the 9/11 tragedy, including civilians, first responders, firefighters, policemen, and our armed forces. And whereas the walk also commemorates the Gold Star moms and families who lost loved ones and struggle every day after the attack on the Twin Towers. And whereas the Walk for Heroes is approximately 6.8 miles long and stretches between Hurley and Baton Park. Volunteers, monetary donations, contributions will help out with completing the journey. And whereas some of the proceeds from the walk will be used to establish the James H. Purtell Scholarship Fund, to benefit the Southwest New Mexico Transition Center for Homeless Veterans and the Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots program. And whereas the Walk for Heroes walkers and runners will start at the Gateway Motel in Hurley, New Mexico, beginning at 8 a.m. on September 13, 2014, and expected to reach Baton Park 12 noon. And whereas the other corresponding events are being planned, such as a bike run. The bike run will depart at 8 a.m. on September 13th from Gateway Motel in Hurley, New Mexico. The journey will be around the loop, which consists of Nimbus, Lake Roberts, Pinos Altos, New Mexico, led by the organization Armadas LEMC. And whereas the Walk for Heroes is a great public outreach undertaking for local Marines, Navy corpsmen, and other families. Now therefore be it resolved by the Grant County Commissioners that September 13, 2014 be declared as Walk for Heroes Appreciation Day in Grant County, New Mexico, done this 28th day of August 2014. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the proclamation declaring September 13th, 2014 as the Walk of Heroes Day.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve the proclamation declaring September 13, 2014 as the Walk for Heroes Day. Is there any discussion on that motion?
No uniform today? What's going on there?
Well, it's been a rough month. Now, I want to thank, my name is Raul Torrieta, Liz Lopez, and we've had a committee to organize this Walk for the Heroes, and we would like to challenge Grant County to have some walkers on September 13th. It is $20 a head, and you will receive a T-shirt, and we will have wonderful food at noon at Baton Park. And I just want to thank the committee that we have really spent some time and effort, and I would like to say the 7 miles, it should be a walk in the park, okay, Commissioner Ramos? So we ask you guys to join us if you would, please.
Just don't state it this time.
No, that one's a done deal, okay?
Anything else? Okay, I'll call for the motion to be voted on. We have a motion to approve the proclamation. Is there any further discussion? All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. We have a proclamation to give you guys. item on the agenda is to approve or disapprove the appointment of Ms. Joni Connors, Ph.D., to the Grant County Community Health Council, Interpersonal Violence Sector. Is anybody from the Health Council?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, Honorable Commission. I'm Kendra Milligan with the Grant County Community Health Council. I'm the Assistant Coordinator. I'd like to remind you, I'm sure you've already seen her resume and credentials, but Joni Connors is the Executive Director of Silver Sexual Assault Support Services, and she also serves currently on 2 of the community action teams that see to this important priority and sector for the Health Council. That's the Grant County Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Task Force and Grant County Cares, which is the anti-bullying group in the community. And the Health Council has recommended her for your consideration for appointment. And also to remind you, interpersonal violence is one of the priorities of the Health and Wellness Plan that you ratified for the county. And I'll answer any other questions you have.
Okay. Any questions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve. I second.
Go ahead. All right. Motion to approve the appointment of Ms. Joni Connors to Grant County Community Health Council. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. You betcha. Good choice. We'll move into resolutions. This is the final phase, I think, of the Viva Santa Rita. Approve or disapprove a resolution R-1445 to accept the roads within the Viva Santa Rita subdivision for maintenance. Earl, do you have anything to say on this one at all? All right. Rick, good job.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Resolution R-14-45 to accept roads within the Viva Santa Rita subdivision for maintenance.
Second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. That's it, Lonnie. You don't have to come to any more meetings. Unless you just want to. Now you can get to Arizona. Okay. Next item is approve or disapprove Resolution R-1446 to adopt an infrastructure capital improvement plan. Anthony, you want to go over that, or?
Sure, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I have put together, of course, the ICIP. Of course, the struggle is usually with the prioritization of the projects. We all know that there's a lot of need within Grant County, but we certainly want to prioritize our projects. We do, however, always want to put our top 3 priorities in the event that we want to ask for any capital outlay monies towards those projects. And so I think I'll go over probably the top 5. We've got, of course, the Grant County Community Continuum of Care. It's the project, of course, which is spearheaded by Commissioner Hall. I think that everyone feels that is a top priority in Grant County, trying to establish some type of care for, some long-term care for people with substance abuse and alcohol abuse type problems. So, second is Baton Park Phase 4. There's some much-needed drainage improvements to be needed out there. Plus, I think that the lighting project has been in the works for several years. Wanted to move it up in the priority level so that we could try and get more attention to the park itself. I know they want to try and use that park for a potential baseball team for the university. So I think that we need to. The park is already a wonderful place and heavily used, so we want to make the improvements that's necessary to make that thing as good as possible. The third one is a new project. Earl brought this to my attention several months ago that the shop at the road department's got some issues with the roof. Got a leaky roof, and I guess it's even to the point where nobody wants to get up there and repair it anymore. It seems to be, the structure seems to be a little bit to where nobody wants to stand on top of it. So I think that it's imperative that we try and get a roof, maybe request some capital outlay, see if we can get one of our legislators to give us a little bit of money to assist with that project.
Next is the Industrial Small Business Park. This was a recommendation made by Angelo Economics when we did our master plan, economic development master plan. We still feel that we are unable to answer PRO's requests when they come in. In order for us to attract any type of businesses here, we're going to have to provide infrastructure. And we're lacking infrastructure, whether it's utilities, buildings. They're always wanting a building that will fit what they're attempting to do, so we thought we'd move that up on our priority list, attempt to maybe get some more ED monies. When we finish our master plan, we were encouraged to apply for funding for anything that's in the master plan. So between the Small Business Park and the Business Conference Center, I have a call in already to our project manager to see which might be a little bit more feasible for us to apply for in this next grant season. So then the fifth one would be facilities ADA compliance. I know that we have some issues, I think, in the Tyrone area on the sidewalks and having ADA compliant ramps and those type of things like that. And so I think that it needs to become a priority to get those things fixed. I think we've done an audit on all of our buildings and all of our places that have curb and gutter, and the ADA compliance, I think, is a big factor, but it's extremely expensive. The state has made it well known that we need to get those things up to date, but they've also allowed a period of time because they know how much money it costs. And of course, although there's always those mandates, they don't always follow up with any financing or revenues to do it. Excuse me?
Where exactly is it?
Oh, the Tyrone Town site. The Tyrone Town site, it all has curbs and gutters and sidewalks, but I think that it needs ramps. So I can continue. We've got a lot of projects. The total amount, I think, again, is $45,973,000 of total projects that we have on the book.
That's the total not funded.
That's a total not funded. Those are the ones that, there are some that have partial funding. We do have, for instance, we have several that have already had the planning done, initial preliminary engineering. Some projects have been funded. For instance, the project out there at the fairgrounds has been funded. We have had some funding for North Hurley Road. We've had funding for North Hurley Sewer Project. One good thing, and it doesn't show here, is that there are 4 projects at the end of the ICIP that we've been able to take off the books because they're complete. So that does mean that we're moving in the right direction. I think the total of those projects was somewhere around $15 million also. So that's a huge effort we've been able to do in the past few years, and hopefully we can continue to do so.
Okay. And just for the public, because they don't know how these projects were chosen, but just kind of go through how they're vetted through the public process.
Well, Mr. Chairman, we of course did have a public meeting to try and get input from the public on potential capital infrastructure projects. These projects have to do with a lot of the infrastructure that we have that needs maintenance. There's road projects on here, there's projects that are related to buildings, there's projects related to community needs, there's sewer, water, wastewater. We also were able to, we put the Copper Trails project on the ICIP this year. We're going to seek some funding through the safety program and the DOT to try to do the engineering for that project. We've already estimated it to be right at $1 million. It was a little bit more than we had first anticipated. But anytime that the public throughout the year, throughout several years, brings a concern to Grant County, we usually have a meeting or committee meetings for months at a time, trying to figure out exactly what the true need is and potentially how much it costs. Once we figure that out and we can identify sources of funding, it gets on our ICIP. The ICIP is actually pretty comprehensive. We identify several types of funding. That kind of gets us moving forward on whether or not we're going to use capital outlay, state grants, federal grants, local monies, private, whether it's a private-public partnership. This is what is required pretty much for all of our capital projects, whether or not we ask for monies from the state or not.
So I guess the next item is those top three are the only ones really eligible for capital outlay this year. We need to sit down and figure what portions of those we're going to ask for capital outlay from our legislators and get that put together for them so we can have a meeting with them. And that's correct.
I think that I have brought these, of course, to the attention of our legislators, and they've all voiced the same thing, in that Grant County has to decide what they want as a priority.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anthony. Any questions for Anthony? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve or disapprove Resolution R-1446 to adopt an infrastructure capital improvement plan?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Motion to approve Resolution R-1446 to adopt the Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, ICIP.
I second. Motion is second to approve R-1446. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Approve or disapprove Resolution R-1447, appointing the Grant County Planner to the Southwest Regional Water Planning Committee. I really think that ought to be the Grant County Director of Planning. What's his real title? What's your real title? Planning Director, isn't it? Grant County Planner. That's okay, we know who it is. On the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Resolution R-1447, appointing the Grant County Planning Director to the Southwest Regional Water Planning Committee.
I'm going to make a second with a comment. You know, we're really fortunate in the county to have Anthony as our waterman. He stands as a leader amongst the southwestern New Mexico as far as knowing about water and such, and it's always nice to go to a meeting and have someone who represents the county be able to speak up and talk with authority. And so we appreciate all the work that you put into this. It didn't come easy.
Okay, there's a motion and proper second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Last item on the agenda today is approve or disapprove Resolution R-1448 to support House Resolution 4315 regarding the transparency and species recovery.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion we approve Resolution R-14-48 to support H.R. 4315 regarding the transparency and species recovery.
I will second that.
There's a motion and a second to approve R-1448. Is there any discussion on this motion? Just so everybody knows, House Resolution 4315 asks for transparency from the various departments that are in charge of the Species Recovery and Endangered Species Act, and it requires them to send information to the county so we know if somebody is trying to get a new endangered species in our county.
For instance, they actually ruled on bringing back the grizzly, right? In Grant County about 2 months ago. Grant County and Katrin Southwest, and it all went through, and we weren't even notified. It went through the federal government process. Of course, it'd take a long time for that to happen, but can you help us out a little bit on that, Anthony?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I think that, I don't know a whole lot about the grizzly portion of it, but we did have a meeting with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife a couple of weeks ago, and now they are partnering with FEMA in order to be able to do some things to try and set themselves up for expanding all the areas for endangered species. So I think that Grant County and as well as the state of New Mexico has to be aware that I've been on several committees for endangered species. I'm on the spike Jason Loach minnow, the wolf recovery, of course. Now they have a Chiricahua leopard frog and the yellow-billed cuckoo in our area, and so they're attempting to expand all the critical habitat areas. I think it's really it would be beneficial for the county to be more involved in those committees, even though just as we saw in the trail management plan, even if you're a cooperating agency, you go to meetings, you say what you're going to say, and the federal government seems to do whatever they want to do anyway. It seems that they use those meetings just to fulfill the requirements of the NEPA process and not necessarily do anything. So I think that this, of course, would be for the state to stand up and say what the counties have been saying all along, that those federal requirements, they have a ripple effect on the local governments, I think is a huge thing. So I don't have so much on the grizzly, but I know working with all the endangered species, it has a huge big impact on any project that we do now because of the federal requirements. So it just increases our administrative cost, I would say tenfold. So.
I know my friend in Catron County, a good county commissioner over there, stated that they're going to put together a big subdivision along the river where they're going to put the grizzly, and they're going to give special rates to the people that actually wanted the introduction for those people there. So there'll be some land for sale there for those people that really want that grizzly on that river.
You have to know that they have conservation easements for those type of things, and they say they want to protect those areas from development, utilizing those conservation easements, but those conservation easements also open up this huge open door policy as far as things related to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, so be careful whenever you do those easements.
Thank you, Anthony. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Stand for county reports, and I think we'll just start with Anthony since he just sat down.
Well, we've been, Mr. Chairman, we've been working mostly on the ICIP, and so that's taken up a lot of my time. I did attend a meeting in Albuquerque on the Arizona Water Settlements Act. It was all pretty much about the Gila. And the only thing I would like to say about that is that I want to ensure the people of Granite County and our surrounding neighbors that what you read in the paper isn't always necessarily true. I've been working for Granite County for almost 20 years, and as a planner and as a road superintendent, doing nothing but trying to utilize what little bit of funds we have to try and make the residents' life better. They pay taxes, and we try and utilize those money as best we can. Whether it's providing them with a sewer system, clean water, a good road, just as we saw today. And so it's kind of, I wouldn't say insulting, but it's kind of, it's surprising that so many people feel that our local governments are trying to pull a fast one to where we can charge people triple their rates or whatever it says in the paper now. We're trying to destroy the ecology out there on the river. That's not what we're attempting to do. What we're attempting to do with the Gila San Francisco Water Commission is trying to secure that water that's rightfully Southwest New Mexico's. And I mentioned to each one of the commissioners, and I mentioned to the Commission, Administration Commission, we will be providing the Commission with a comprehensive financial business plan to be able to utilize those waters for revenues for years to come.
If we secure those waters, then we have, for lack of a better words, we have a gold mine. Those waters might only come in handy 50 years down the line when our wells are going dry and we can't grow any crops, to the potential to have a revenue base that we may lose if the copper mine shut down. So while people think we're trying to do a bad thing, I think that retaining those waters in New Mexico does nothing but good. Whether or not we have a diversion project or not, I think is irrelevant. We can downsize the projects to meet our budget. We can do whatever we need to do, as long as we secure those waters and secure them for Southwest New Mexico. So I know I've been on this for quite some time, and you hear a lot of things. You go to meetings, do all these things, but it's kind of sad when you read in the paper that we're trying to ruin something in our area. I live there. I see the river from my house, and so I certainly wouldn't want anything detrimental to happen out there. But other than the AWSA and the ICIP, that's about all we've been doing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Anthony. Earl?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's pretty much business as usual down there. We've been catching up on a lot of patching that we got behind on. I've got all 6 blades running. We're trying to do a little bit of mop-up here and there after the rains. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, so we're trying to get some roads cleaned up. But the residents just have a little patience. We'll get to everybody. That's about it.
Is Larriott Road is a county-maintained road, right?
Yes, sir.
You get an opportunity, might hit that. Buses are having a hard time getting down through there. Thank you. Randy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. First of all, on behalf of the Rural Fire Chiefs Association and the 9 district fire chiefs that we have and over 300 firefighters and first responders, I want to thank you for the proclamation on the Heroes of the Walk. I think that was really nice, and so I appreciate that. On that note, too, on the fire side, Tyrone's addition to their station is moving along pretty good. Hopefully we'll be in there by the end of September. So I want to thank Kevin Robinson, who took over the project for the previous architect. He's done a great job working with with Chief Groves out at Tyrone, and so we're moving forward on that. And also, there's State Fire Marshal's Office puts an expo together every year that trains for structural firefighting and EMS emergency responders. That's going to take place in Socorro at the Training Academy, September 8th to the 14th. This year's theme is Into the Darkness, which is going to involve a lot of evolutions at night. So we're looking forward to sending some of our volunteers that can make it over there. It's hard to get volunteers to some of these trainings because, as you all know, a lot of them are employed, and so we hope to get some volunteers out there and get some training, some night training in EMS and in firefighting. DWI, as you know, school has begun, and our DWI program is in the schools. We're doing the 6-hour alcohol education and the driver's ed classes there in Cliff and in Silver High. Cindy's working with the schools, showing prevention and education videos at La Plata Middle School once a month, which approximately 415 students will probably go through that program. There's also at SNAL, the Bobitins Life Skills curriculum we're showing through 8th graders, 7th and 8th graders, kind of growing up, adolescence, getting that point, peer pressures and that kind of stuff. So the DWI program is in the schools and working hard to make sure that the education, as far as alcohol education, is at a young age is brought to their attention. Correcaminos, we're working on the budget. The fiscal year, as you know, is the federal fiscal year, which ends September 31st and begins October 1st. We're trying to revamp and make some changes. We'll be doing that and working with the advisory board, and the problem is just hopefully working so that we can the budget, obviously, with any transit system or public system of that sort, we just want to make sure that we get the big bang for our buck, so we're working on that. Senior program, we've been meeting with some of the seniors in the area, in Members. I want to, my condolences to the Cuff family. His wife was one of our employees out at the Cliff area, and so I was really sad to hear that he had passed on. He was a great advocate for those people out there, did a lot of work, worked with Justin and I a lot, and so I really feel bad, and I want to send my condolences to the family. Let's see, Public Works, busy, weeds. We're just making sure that, that we can...
Can you use your firefighters, like, for weeds, and use your weed cutters for firefighters? It seems like they're opposite seasons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that comment.
You can take my notes,
So Public Works, again, weeds, over at the airport, we finally got somebody in place to help out at the airport now. That relieve some, Justin and myself are, working out there and covering the flight. Still got to do that because we still got to get him trained in the fire and in the ARF training. But we're working hard out there. We're going to utilize this individual for not only the airport, but Public Works work as well. And so, just on attending the aviation conference in Ruidoso, we'll make some contacts with some of the avgas and the fuel farm. Also, making some good contacts with other airports of our size to get some ideas as how we move forward with that. So everything is working good there. Conference Center, again, busy as can be. Baton Park, again, the weeds, trying to keep those under control, being utilized every single day. And the veterans, I want to thank the veterans, as you know, they keep their area clean, and so we're trying to kind of keep up with them, because if they can do it, we want to make sure that they're part of the property out there, and so we want to do our part and make sure that we get that done. I don't have anything else unless you have any questions.
Has that hood been put in over the Santa Clara?
Yes, it's complete. The hood is complete, and I think there's probably like a minor sheet that actually has to be done. Where the fire marshal came and did inspection, we had some issues with that, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Ramos, but I think we rectified that, and it is open. They are making meals at the Santa Clara Center. We're hoping that there's going to be some more of that done at some of our other centers, but we're hoping that it goes a lot smoother than this one did. We had some bumps in the road, and so we were able to overcome those, and hopefully as we move forward, we'll get some funding. There is some funding to replace some other hoods, and so we're moving forward with that.
Is there any way to put in the bidding process that before the project, they have to have all the materials to complete the project?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Ramos, I think that was the issue. The problem is that you have one contractor in the whole area that was going to take that project on. We just could not find, and so we kind of rushed into that, but I believe that's where we want to go. We learned from that project, so we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again, and we don't have a center that's not providing the services that it's there for. That's for our seniors. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Okay, thanks, Randy. Mike?
Chairman, Commission members, I respectfully submit my report for August 12th through August 27th. Item number 1, status remains the same. Item number 2, our detention facility update. Currently have no vacancies. We've hired 2 applicants, and they'll start their employment on September the 2nd. The detention facility was at near capacity on August the 18th, and this was due to a law enforcement operation that was conducted here in the county. Item number 3, on an update, the detention facility is experiencing some facility maintenance problems, and contractors have been notified, and those repairs are pending. Item number 4, on the training update, Lieutenant Aguirre and Sergeant Galindo will be conducting the FTO training for the new hirees, and this is going to be on September the 2nd, so if you'll make that correction. First line supervision training, Sergeant Hardesty and Sergeant Sherrill, their training, if you recall, was scheduled for this month. It's been changed for October, so they'll be going to their first line supervisor training in October. And we're continuing with our 40-hour recertification. Item number 5 on the inmate support program, Mary Stoker and myself, we attended a meeting with our legislative representatives, and we went over several aspects of the inmate support bill. We also discussed some legislative issues and also some funding opportunities that may pertain to the program. I also met with our intern, who is she's representing Western Master Social Department at Western New Mexico University. If you'll recall, she also has been doing some work at the jail. What she's doing is preparing the inmates for release once they leave the facility. And it's a key component of our inmate support program. She's been doing a great job. On a second note, we met yesterday. She is putting a proposal together, and this proposal is going to, and I mentioned that at the last meeting, she's going to do research on recidivism, substance abuse, and special needs inmates and those individuals with mental illness. And Commissioner Hall, I think it's going to be, it's also going to help the detox program that you have going. I think all the statistics that are gathered, so she's put a proposal together. I reviewed it yesterday. There's going to be some minor changes. She's going to submit that proposal. And again, it's a key component of our inmate support program. What kind of timeline do we have that would be available, Michael? What kind of timeline do we have that would be available? She told me that she would have the final draft done by next week. And then what she's going to do, once it's accepted, she'll start the research. And I think those statistics are going to be, I think they're going to help both programs. And there's going to be it's going to be a benefit to both programs. Item number 7 on our statistics, the detention facility average daily population for the month of August 12th through the 28th. The average daily population is 76. That's 5 more than last month. The high population is 83, 12 more than last month. That's for males. High population females is 23, is 1 more than last month. And for the month of August 12th through the 28th, there were 88 inmates, which is 17 more than last month, incarcerated in this facility, and this also shows an increase in activity. And again, on August the 18th, there were 100 inmates incarcerated at the facility. Monthly agency total, and this is only for a 2-week period, Silver City Police Department had 80, New Mexico State Police 14, the Sheriff's Department had 7, Santa Clara had 4, Baird had 4, and Hurley PD had 2, and New Mexico State Police had 2. Detention facility conducted 21 district court transports. Magistrate Court had 31, Division 1 had 31, Division 2 had 6. Municipal Court had, Silver City Municipal Court had 7, Santa Clara had 0, Baird 0. Also, with Hurley there were 0. We had 0 medical transports. So for the month of August 12th through the 28th, we conducted 65 transports as compared to 36 last month, and I think that was also due to the operation, because of the number of inmates we had in the facility. And our utilization and occupancy levels, there were 24 individuals with felonies, 54 with misdemeanors, and then for the other warrants and probation violations, there were 73, which is a total of 151. Total hours in custody is 8,690 hours, and average length of stay of 7.87 days. That's my report.
Any questions for Mike? Good job, Mike. Mike, one thing we need to do is we need to have a visit, and we probably need to set that up on, the work sessions usually run longer than meetings, so I just assume go on the 11th, but I don't, so fine with me. That's okay with you?
Yes, sir. I'll have you open your own
911.
Yes, sir.
How are the water leaks holding up over there?
They're not getting any worse, Commissioner Ramos. They're not getting any worse. The contractor we had 2 individuals, contractors, to come and look at that, and they did they did their assessment, and then they left, and they said they would be sending somebody, so that's why we're waiting for somebody to come back.
And these are the contractors that put it up, correct?
That's correct, sir.
So are they agreeing to fix it?
I think they're agreeing to fix it, but I don't think they're agreeing that, they're gonna be responsible and there's gonna be a fee.
How long ago did they finish it completely? And there was only a 1-year warranty on this one? 2-year? It's been 3 at least, right?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years.
Because I know they finished in our first year.
I thought usually the warranties were about a year.
Well, standard seam roof was usually a little longer.
I wasn't familiar with that.
It's probably past.
Wow. For a contractor to not warranty something, that standard seam especially, there's no seams in it, shouldn't leak. You figure they'd come back and fix. I think we really need to look into the legality, of course. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, Mike. Sheriff?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I want to give my status report for the month of July. We responded to 403 calls for service, which is fairly high. And we took 109 reports, and we investigated 6 motor vehicle collisions. During the presentation of losing a key component of my administration, it's going to be a little bit difficult to replace. He's not a years of experience. And I just want to thank you guys for acknowledging him on that. I foresee more retiring here soon with the PER changes that have come up. It's going to put more people to retire, so I'm just going to prepare for that. But also, just wanted to let the public know school has started and it has gone without any issues, major issues. The traffic is being observed by the law enforcement, and we haven't had any major issues with complaints of the buses and stuff like that. So, I want to commend the public for being aware of the children out there. Other than that, I have nothing else to report unless you have any questions.
Any questions for the sheriff? No. Thanks, sir. Eric?
Chairman, Commissioners of the Board, I want to recognize and congratulate a few of our employees that attended the IWA courses in Socorro. This was held in July. Both Misty Trujillo and Carrie Powell became New Mexico certified appraisers as they passed their last course. Alexandra Perral passed her 3rd course. She just needs one more to be a New Mexico certified appraiser. And Jason Quimby passed his 1st course. These courses are not easy. They're like a college class crammed into 1 week, and I just want to congratulate them on their accomplishments.
Thank you very much. Mr. Treasurer?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we've had the New Mexico Taxation and Revenue in our office a couple of weeks ago, and due to their auctions in other counties, they've been missing for the last 2 weeks, but they are scheduled to come in next week to continue working our 2010 delinquency list. So we're just looking forward to that and trying to work with them to get as many of these properties resolved. We have still, within our department, been working on the manufactured housing and those that are personal property that are delinquent, and we've had a little bit of success with our courtesy letters. We have had, probably 10% of those that we sent out have responded and come in and taken care of their taxes and stuff. So, and the only other thing, we do have the girls that are going to be going, not next week, but the week after that, to the New Mexico Edge classes up in Albuquerque, and they will be about halfway through their certification to be certified Treasury officials. And then the following week, we'll be going up to the Treasury's affiliate retreat up in Santa Fe. So.
Any questions for Steve? No? All right, thanks. Linda, you have anything further?
No, I don't, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Anything today?
I should update the commissioners on where the bonds are. And the chairman and I met yesterday with our underwriters, and they are working on our official statement now. And so it looks like we're in line to sell our bonds at the end of September. So things are on track. Just to let you know. And then as far as the fuel at the airport, we did put out our request for bids, and so we should have something going maybe in a month. It takes a while to do the whole process, plus we're not going to have a meeting. Our first meetings in September won't coincide with the bid, with the opening of the bids, so it won't be until, let's see, our first meeting in October. This is confusing, sorry, because we're not going to have the meetings that second week in fourth Thursday in September because of the fair. So we'll be probably deciding something the first week, the first meeting in October on the fuel. But we're on track for that. Brett thought he had a lead or the chairman thought he had a lead for someone to run the fuel farm, but I haven't received a response. I called back on that, and I haven't received a response. If I do, I'll look into that as well.
I'd like to personally thank you for stepping up and becoming our manager/attorney for this period of time. This will be your last meeting, I believe, as county manager. So I'd like to just take the time to thank you very much. It wasn't an easy job. You actually took over, and there was a lot of rough business going on. So, thank you, Jen.
I really did. Actually, I want to thank you all for having confidence in me, and I know I joke about how terrible it's been, but it really hasn't been. You all have been great. The department heads have been great in helping me out, and I know I don't want to be county manager, but I did learn so much. I'm sure it's really gonna help in my role as county attorney. I'm sure it will. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Commissioner? Yeah, just a few things. Been real busy. It seemed like we've had just a lot of meetings as far as the adult substance abuse continuum of care. We have another one today at noon. Been meeting with cabinet people from Santa Fe and from the administration and such, trying to get some thoughts about where they would like to see us be and what we would have inside our building and such. And so we're really excited how that's coming along. It's really coming together great now. I've been attending several meetings at the animal ordinance. We've got a great committee on that. We're coming together. We're about halfway through on that. And then the exhibit building, I was out there the other day. I was really disappointed to find out that they're going to have to tear out the slab and start over again because of some problems with the slab itself. I saw it. It was terrible looking, so they should have it torn out by now, and I'll probably go out tomorrow and take a look at it and see how it looks. Just to echo what Randy had said about Michael Cuff. You know, that's my district. And Michael was one of those individuals that, it's 30 miles away. And if I needed something done, Michael Cuff was the person to call. He not only had answers to a lot of things, but if you needed some legwork done, he saved me I don't know how many times we're having to go out to the Cliff Hill area and work on issues. A very intelligent man, but had such a heart of gold. The man loved this county, he loved his area, and so to Rita, I'm really sorry, and I know you miss him, and the community misses him. The only other thing is we'll continue to go to the regional dispatch and deal with their issues and such. But everything looks great. I'm really excited about the future and what's going to happen in this county.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, I've been to meetings after meetings. We've had Echo Watershed meetings. We've had SWACA meetings. On our Echo Watershed meetings, we're still trying to figure out who's going to take charge on the GIS portion. We did get a report from the Forest Service that Highlands University wants to participate in the GIS portion of our project for Echo Watershed, and that is just gathering all the information from the different entities that are involved. For instance, we've got the Forest Service that has all their GIS, which is geared towards fire and thinning and their resources. We've got the state for us that has their resources, and we have BLM, GIS department that has a lot of the infrastructure in the area, and of course we have the county that has GIS mapping and addressing. So we want to try and get a group that's going to put all this information together. Another one of my meetings I met with Dr. Shepard at WNMU, and I brought this to his attention when it comes to the GIS department. And we met with the GIS department head there at Western, and it looks like they want to really help out on this project also. We guaranteed them that we have great people in our Echo Watershed group that are willing to write for grant monies to help Western's GIS department, and in return help the whole area with the information that they gather. So we're really working hard on that. During my meeting with Dr. Shepard, we talked about the pool. I know that's been a big issue down here in Grant County. You know, getting rid of that pool was heartbreaking to a lot of people. But what they're trying to do now is they're going to look at putting back a pool that's not going to be as big as the other, but it's going to have room for 2 lanes of lap swimming, and it's going to be a 27 to 2,800 square foot pool where people could still utilize. So I'm really glad to hear that. He did walk us through some of their construction, and he showed us where future plans are going to be leading us here in the next few years. And the plans are really good. Of course, finances are the key to everything. We also talked about bringing in baseball back to WNMU, and I told them that we as a commission will do everything we can to help them with any of the projects they've got, but we will be helping them with our baseball field over Baton Park. We're going to try to make that Western Mustang baseball again and bring it back to Grant County. He is going to be looking at bringing a girls track team and a girls soccer team to Western to meet the Title IX criteria. And that's what's been stopping them from bringing in baseball for a long time now. And it's Title IX, so which means as many females you've got participating in sports is as many males that you've got to have participating in sports in any state institution. And so that's what we're working on through SWACA. Yes, sir.
On the track, was he going to use the local high schools, or?
He said he's got some really nice tracks here already. He did discuss utilizing Old James Stadium up on as a new stadium, because they've already got a track.
But that springtime, that wind is,
yeah, it is. But he did mention that there's a lot of nice facilities already here for track that they can utilize. So,
And I said he's going to let him use the soccer fields.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The city, I guess he's working with the city to use the new facility down at Scott Park, which is a beautiful facility.
in fact, they're using it now on football practice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful facility. Silver Little League held the district tournament there, and it was really nice. It's going to be more attractive when they put the lights up. Currently, it doesn't have lights, but they're working on that. So it's an awesome facility. I think he's excited because they'll have those fields to use for games, and also, again, the stadium up on top to utilize for grass fields, because there's disadvantages and advantages of both. So they're excited about that. So things are moving forward. We do want to extend our hand to Western. We want to help with everything that we can, and we want to make it more attractive for more youth to come to college here, of course, and more people here, more revenue. So that's what we're looking
That's
at.
what's exciting that we're doing now, is that we're partnering with not only other entities, but, with Western and the schools and such, in what we're doing, and that's important for us to combine our efforts, to combine whatever we have, our monies, our efforts and stuff, and make it a better community for everyone.
And in essence, I think we're all becoming mini county managers.
No.
But we did meet with SWACA also, we need to, Denise, if you can get a hold of Hidalgo County and get a copy of the resolution for bringing in a juvenile detention center to Hidalgo. That's actually being worked on really hard now. We've contacted Senator Jaime Morales. He said he's going to help us out with everything he can. Yes, sir. They need something. Yeah, they're working with John Arthur Smith also. They're making contact with him. What they're trying to do is create it where half of it is an adult center and half of it a juvenile center. So it'll work out pretty well.
That's like a rock line on that right now.
Yes, sir. Well, it's breaking their county, so, and I mean, it'd be nice for us to be able to house our juveniles only, 40 miles away versus 100 and 200 and 300 miles away. So that's one of the big things we're working on with SWACA. We're also working on the appeal on the TMP, Tribal Management Plan. We will be having a few meetings here in the next few weeks on this. We've got tons of meetings, but it's been fun. That's what we're here for, and we'll continue to try to do what's right for our county. Thank you very much.
Well, I think I fall right in the theme here of cooperation with other entities, because three of the things I'm going to talk about today, two of them are cooperating with other entities. Abby talked about the bonds already. I think that's going well, and we're on schedule, so that's going to happen. NMAC will be asking for our endorsement on 5 resolutions supporting legislation and 2 resolutions supporting memorials, and those are currently being vetted through the various affiliates and scrubbed by NMAC staff. As soon as I get totally complete copies, I'll make sure that all the electeds get theirs, and we'll get them, and then we'll endorse those. Corey Camino's been working diligently with the other entities that are involved, whether it be the town of Silver City, Deming, Luna, Lordsburg, or Hidalgo, to make sure that they put in the proper amount of funding so we get our DOT grants. And also, just something kind of new, the town of Silver City and Grant County and WNMU are working in coordination with the Economic Development Department to put together a economic development symposium at WNMU. We're in the infancy of it, so there's not any details yet. We'll be meeting our second meeting on it next week, and at that point in time, hopefully we can get some economic development ideas in the community. So I too have been going to lots of meetings. Yes, we do. Does anybody want to second? We do not have a closed session. Anybody else have anything else?
Welcome all the people that are coming in for the Chicano Music Fest, and hopefully this becomes a big thing, and they're bringing a lot of people in. And we're talking about who's going to be here, and the Chicano Chants. I remember them when I was a little guy. They used to play at the Hurley Community Center when I used to live in back of it. And they're going to be playing again, so it's going to be neat to be hearing some of these old bands come back and play again. So I welcome all the people that are coming in.
Okay. Next work session is September 9th, 9 a.m., and our new county manager will be in the house. I don't know that at her second day that we're going to ask her to run the meeting with us. Abby may still be doing that, but come meet her. We'll probably try to have some little meet and greet afterwards. So, at this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.